Hey everybody, I'm Hunter Allen, Peaks Coaching Group. I am here to talk about 8 weeks to your peak. You know what? One of the things that we've done and has been huge in the cycling world is we've helped to create the Performance Manager chart. Training and Racing with a Power Meter, Cycling Peaks software that became Training Peaks WKO software, the Performance Manager chart that Dr. Coggan came up with, that we worked on building TSS, CTL, ATL, TSB, all these things. That's what we created way back in 2007, I believe, maybe 2008. And then the software came out in 2009 along with our second edition of Training and Racing with a Power Meter book. What about 8 weeks to your peak? Why 8 weeks? Well, our fitness changes in 8-week cycles, okay? Fitness changes in 8-week cycles. So look at the date right now, right? What is today? Think back 8 weeks ago. What training were you doing 8 weeks ago? That's what's impacting your FTP and your fitness right now, okay? So 8 weeks, we make those fitness changes in those 8-week chunks. So you can always work with that, all right? That's a pretty good standard for almost everybody. Now, why 8 weeks to your peak? Because that gives us that chance to take the foundation of fitness that you've got, build on exactly the layer that you need to make yourself peak when you want to peak. This plan isn't going to work if you don't have the foundation built, okay? You have to build that foundation. You have to have a strong foundation of fitness first to put this layer of 8 weeks to your peak on top of it, all right? So that's important. Now, in this plan, in my 8 weeks to peak plan, I've sold thousands of this plan. I mean, it's incredible. Thank you so much for all of the people who have bought them. I'm so glad that all the emails that you send me and tell me how great that has been. It is awesome because I love helping people and I love helping people achieve their goals. 8 weeks to your peak, it's going to be interesting because some weeks will be a little easier than you thought that they should be. Some weeks are going to be way harder than you thought they should be. You're going to come into week 4 and you're going to have a big rest week. Then I'm going to slam you in week 5 and make you do the hardest work that you've ever done in week 5 right after that rest week. Why? Because you're rested and you can do it. And you got a little bit of a bump from the first 4 weeks, right, of training. Those first 3 weeks of hard training, you got a bump from that rest week. Then you can kill it in that week 5. Guess what? Week 6 is going to be a little easier. Why? Because you want to peak at the end of week 8, right? And then you're going to just dive into that really sharp taper and push high intensity week 7. It's not going to be easy, but it's not going to be hard either. And then I'll have you rest and give you just the right amount of rest so that you have the right training stress balance and you're ready to peak at the end of the 8 weeks. Now, it's a fine balance, right? It's a fine balance. You have to do the work, all right? You have to do the work. You have to do the work. And you have to make sure that you rest, all right? You've got to make those things happen, right? 3 do the works and 1 rest. So don't come complaining to me if it didn't work, right? If you did only 50% of the workouts that I give you, you've got to make sure you're nailing 99.9% of all those workouts and you're doing the work. That's critical, right? You do the work, you're going to get the results. I'm Hunter Allen, 8 weeks to your peak. Check out that plan. It's under training plans on our shoppeaks.com, our store website. It's a great plan. I've sold thousands of these plans. I've got one for masters and for folks who are under the age of 40 as well. Great value. Talk to you soon.